You see how long? I think that we are live.
Amazing.
Hello.
Hello.
I will go on maybe we can retweet that we're online, like that we're live. That's probably a good idea.
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh, there is someone in the chat. Hi, Naomi.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
So welcome to the very, very last. Wait, before we go into that.
Yes, I finished it like 2 minutes ago.
In the nick of time.
Yes. That's
my gosh,
amazing
I was
that you like
read. Yeah, I was like reading. So for the story, yesterday we were chatting on Twitter or whatever, and I just realized that the live was actually today. Yesterday night. So I started the audiobook at the same time I was reading it, because when I do both at the same time, I tend to retain more of the information or whatever and go faster. So I don't know if I remember everything correctly, but I made it, and it was like the race of my life. Like I was like, I was like eating and drinking at the same time. Like,
oh my god. Sasha, you are amazing.
You can breathe now.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, hello. So I actually did the same thing like Sasha. I also read it in audio and like
Me
in
too.
ebook. Yes, like, and because of it, I read it really fast. I finished it in something like in the same day. Oh, the edition is so pretty. The edition is really pretty.
Yeah, but the audiobook, by the way, is amazing. I find the audiobook
I agree.
really well done.
Yeah.
I actually finished in the beginning of the month. I was already done when we did our reading sprints, because I like to be prepared. I'd like to be prepared. But yes, welcome to the final live show for Ember in the Ashalong. I'm going to miss this so much. This has been so much fun. Today, we will be talking about Sky Beyond the Storm, and I feel from our chats in the group chat already that there are mixed reviews. So let's just start with that. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Steff is not here. I think she DNF'd the second book and just never continued. So she broke my heart, but we're on the mends. So let's start with what we thought about the book.
Who want to go first?
Shall I just go first because I'm predictable?
Yes,
you gave it 5 stars.
No, I gave it 4 stars.
4.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I think it's gonna sit at 4 or 3.5. Like, it definitely wasn't as like, I loved it when I was reading it, but then there are quite a few things which we'll get to in a little bit that I just want to tear my hair out, annoyed me kind of thing. So that is it. That's it. I think that's the overall feeling for me right now.
I get it. Like, personally, so the first one, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, I believe. The second one I did not like. So if it wasn't for the read along, I would have DNF the series. So like the third book, I did not rate it because I don't feel it would be fair to rate it on Goodreads or whatever, because I'm reading it for like a specific purpose, let's say. So the last one, I'm not gonna rate it either, because I just didn't care that much about the characters, but I have so many things that I found beautiful and well done in that book, and I found it perfect as an ending. So we're gonna talk more about that, but like, I found the story well done. It was just not for me, so that's why I'm not rating it. But yeah, that's what I think of it.
Fair.
Okay.
I mean, Jane already mentioned things to me.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about this if we want to remain friends or not. But
yes. So I'm also not going to rate this book, because if I would rate it, it would be 1 star, because I really wanted to DNF it. Like, the whole time I read it, I just really wanted for it to be over. Now I have one good thing to say about the book.
Oh.
I didn't love the end of this, but the only thing that I really loved was the relationship between Helena and Harper, yes. I really love the relationship and the scenes between them and how Harper spoke. Like, I almost cried every time he spoke. It was like so sweet. I really loved the relationship between those two. But this is the only thing that I enjoy in the book. And
they
like,
literally
we all
killed
know,
off your favorite thing.
yes, and like, usually I'm okay with killing characters if it feels
Yeah, you
right.
said so last time.
Yes, but I feel a little bit. I feel a lot of bitterness about Harper's death because Helena just she had the worst life in the books, and I feel like I just feel like Laia and Elias got their good ending. Although I appreciate Helena so much more than Laia and Elias, so I just feel bad that she had such bad time. Like in all of the books, she lost her family, she lost her love, she just have the most miserable life. And like, yes, that's okay sometimes, but something there just felt to me like we are going to talk about it, but yes, I just didn't felt like it was right.
I'm quite surprised and a bit shocked because as much as I didn't care about the characters or whatever, I would have never like rated it 1 star. I'm kind of like, even for me, like I'm like, no, I feel bad for the book now.
So
like I'm literally the exact opposite. Everything I was listening to, I was like, I'm so interested in this.
Yes, I just feel like the reason that I was so disappointed is because I really, really loved the first book, and then the second and the fourth book were okay, were average, and like Sasha said, I also, if it wasn't for the read along, I would probably DNF the series long time ago, and I feel like I had so many expectations for the last book, and because I was like expecting, so I think like this is the main reason that I was so disappointed because I just wanted more. And I think that because of the second and the fourth book, I was already less interested in the characters, and like I got to the state that they were annoying to me. And again, I'm not going to give rating to the book because I do feel like it's not fair. Again, like Sasha said, because I'm reading it for the read along, and so I don't think it's bad.
Just to push, just to push these down.
I just want to say that I don't think it was bad. There was so many things that really, really bothered me. Yes. Elena, oh yes. Yes. There was just so many things that bothered me that I usually give ratings based on a feeling, and I just really didn't want to read it. Like, I really want to DNF it, yes.
I get what you mean, because now, after finishing the whole series, I felt like the first and the second book were more about politics or whatever. And then the third book was more about the magic system. And then the fourth book for me was going back to not reality, but more like humanity. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but I feel like the books, the concept, the core of the books are pretty different from each other. So I can easily see why people would enjoy the very beginning of the series and maybe less the ending, or quite the opposite, depending on what you prefer in books. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, I didn't really like the ending either, which is why I gave it 4 stars. It was like literally going to 5 stars. Then they killed Lavia, so like Helena's sister, and it already went down half a star for me because that was so unnecessary. And then we went into that ending, and I was like, well, they kill off Harper, and then in such a way that it didn't even like. It was so like pushed to the side of like, yeah, well, he's dead. Oh well, that I was like, okay, there goes another half star.
Yeah, also, I really agree about Harper. Like, I feel that we talked about it in the second book with Lizzie dead. That it just felt like Sabatir was pushing it because she thought it will make the story more interesting, but it didn't feel right. So I feel like, yes, I just feel like it was unnecessary. Although, like, I'm okay with death, but I felt like it was just really pushed and like, just not in place.
This just hurts. This hurts. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, off topic. There you go. So
Oh,
cool.
that's really cool.
Thank you.
Also, one thing I'm curious about. What were your feelings about the fact that Laya's mom was still alive?
I mean, I was surprised, but not surprised at the same time, because that's a kind of thing you can expect from like YA, I feel, or even like a character that's supposedly dead that comes back. So I was like, because the last book was so full, like, not twist, but everything, like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I was not surprised, but I don't think it was that necessary. I don't know. I don't know. You?
I liked the fact that she eventually became the soul catcher. Like, I think that's fitting.
Yeah.
Because thinking about the life she has led before this. But it just felt so kind of, I don't know, just a 6-year-old writing a book going, oh, by the way, they're not dead anyway, because it serves my purpose. And it was just, also, I completely agree with this one. I think the only right choice would have been for Helena to kill Karis at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of our previous show, I said that I didn't see Elias being the soul catcher till the end.
No.
That someone was coming. Because every time, I don't know if you noticed, but every time when he was talking about his like a life as a soul catcher, whatever, he was saying, until I find someone else, until I find my predecessor. He never said until the end of time. So it was kind of implied, and I love that. But
I have actually really mixed opinions. Like, I really agree about Laya's mother, the cook, that it felt like imaginary, that just, okay, she's alive. I did like the ending, that the cook took like the soul catcher role, and I really loved what Keen said about the three of them and the mother, how it all connected. I really loved that it wasn't Karis and it was the cook in the end. I loved this twist, but I feel like it was just a waste of time, because something in Elias' plot, just from the start, I don't know, like, what happened to the soul catcher before Elias. What was her name?
Shiva,
yes. So Shiva, when she finished her role, she died. So for me, if it was real life and Elias was actually the soul catcher, I wouldn't think that he has a way to get out of this role without dying forever. Yes, it feels like the easy way out, because, like, realistically, if Shiva was dead, so Elias would supposed to be the soul catcher, and like, he died to be the soul catcher. So if he isn't the soul catcher, he's supposed like to die and like end everything. So I just feel like he wasn't supposed to go back into life if he was already dead to be the soul catcher. So yes, I just feel like there wasn't really realism. And yes, this is a fantasy story, but like, you get what I'm saying?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, he was already dead, so like.
Also, the thing that bothered me is the fact that Helen didn't get as lucky as he got. That's what bothered me, because I feel like she had the hardest life, I would say. Like, she suffered a lot. And I know, like, an empress or whatever, I mean, high people usually have a hard life when they get it, not when they're born in that linear kind of thing. But so her losing everyone, but him getting chances there and there, I just didn't feel it fair. But
also, this is an interesting comment, I think. according to a friend of mine, the author specifically mentions that Helen and Harper are side characters, so maybe that is why his death was kind of pushed to the side. I think that's just
like
in
really
the first book,
me something.
Like the first book, it would have been logical for me because in the first book she was definitely a side character. But when you add a POV from her perspective that is as plentiful as the second book, I think you deserve to be a main character. She's even on the cover of some of the.
Yes.
So
she doesn't feel like a side character.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a golden trio kind of thing. Yeah, it feels like that.
It actually really reminded me, there is those TikTok videos of if you saw the main character versus the one who actually made the story good, who actually like made the whole story. Yes, like you get it. So I feel like Laia and Elias were supposed to be the main characters, but I feel like Helena made the story so much more full and meaningful. Like her character meant so much more to me than the other characters. And if we are going back to the first live show where I hated her, which is funny because like the first book was the most fun one. And then since we got her POV, we like didn't really like the books, but I really love her character. So like I'm not sure what to think about it, but I really, really love her character. She doesn't feel to me like in any way a side character.
Yeah. Saba said that Helena was like a main character in book 2 and 3 because we needed someone in the Empire to know what's happening there, and that is why she added Helena's POV. But isn't that the same thing in the last book? I mean, if we didn't have her POV, we wouldn't have known that Lavia was dead.
Mm-hmm. It actually feels a little bit like this. Like Helena for Sabatair was a side character. I feel like not matter how much we got from Helen, in the end, Elias and Laias were the heroes and were the ones with the good ending and the ones like where the story ended with them. So I get why she, like, I see the author's feeling towards the characters in the writing. Like, it seems to me from what Helena, like, lived in her life and how everything went, that maybe Sabatair just didn't love her to the same amount that Elias and Laias, which is okay. Like we are all a human, like also authors. That's totally okay. But it's interesting, like, to think about it.
Yeah. I also, what did you guys think of the twist of like the was it like the Jinn Queen that was kind of like living inside Laia's head?
When was it again?
Like there was the wife of like the Nightbringer.
Nightbringer.
Oh.
Because I thought that was a little bit like, oh, you're special, but you're not that special because everybody apparently has this blood in them. But you became special the moment you defied the Nightbringer, and I was like, wow, that's I just I don't need another. You're a special snowflake, so you have to save everyone. Plotline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but maybe he needed to feel that way in order to stay human. I don't know, to keep his humanity, whatever. I don't know, because humans need to feel special in order to sometimes, like, the majority of YA I read, or the character are super low, or they're overly confident. You know what I mean? Or they had a hard life, or they're super confident. And I just feel like he needed maybe that extra push. I don't know, like in the storyline. I'm not saying that I enjoyed it or not, but maybe it was a bit necessary. I don't know.
Felt weird to me. It felt forced to me, almost like a last-minute decision. I also feel like that.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, in the last book, I feel like a lot of things didn't come naturally, like some death, some twist, or whatever. And I don't know why it felt that way. Like, was it on purpose? Was it because it was the ending? It was rushed. It was like the author was on a deadline, or just I don't know. But I feel like it was the case for a lot in the book.
So actually, Sabatair wrote a review about the book in Goodreads. You saw the review? She wrote like something really interesting. I want to show you. Let's see. I will just get to it.
But if I have like just go ahead. Then I'm gonna.
Yes, I wanted to say that because Saba Ta'ir, let's see, here. So you have Saba. You see, like, this is Saba review, and she gave it 5 stars, and she wrote, I don't usually rate my books because I always felt weird about it, but I am so damn proud of this book. I worked my tail off on it, and I think it's the best thing that I ever written. So this one time, I'm going to rate a book of mine. Hopefully you guys won't mind, and hopefully you will love reading it as much as I loved writing it. So, like, based on this review, it feels like for Saba Ta'ir, it was like for her the best thing that she ever wrote. So it's interesting, like, to think about it, because also for me, a lot of things felt rushed and unnatural, but maybe it was her plan from the start, and maybe just didn't connect to like she wanted it to connect, and then something in the end felt off. Maybe I'm just trying to think.
Maybe she had a hard time working on this book. Maybe she had a hard time like closing everything, like to end everyone's story, and that's why it felt a bit rushed. But it doesn't mean that she didn't work enough on the book. Maybe it's true that she worked way more because she couldn't finish it. You know what I mean? So
I think wrapping them up, like wrapping the storylines up, as you said, like it's very difficult. And I think this book also took longer to actually be published. So I'm guessing that she had some issues trying to find a fitting ending to certain character plot lines. Also, quickly in between.
I think we're all tired here.
Yes.
Just as a quick reminder. Hydrate, people. We need our sleep. It's all good.
Yeah. But the way she, like, I feel the overall series is not a happy series. Like from the very beginning, like the stories for each characters are pretty sad, or the lonely, or the slaves, or the used, or the misunderstood, or whatever. And I feel like the challenge for this book was to actually give it the proper ending, but not a too happy ending, not too sad. So I think that's why maybe we hoped, like for Helen, we hoped something better for her, not to lose Harper, not to lose her sister, etc. But she did. So maybe that's why we feel like it was rushed, because we actually didn't want that for her, because we got attached to her, or because we thought she deserved better after the whole series. So I feel like it's very personal. I mean, it's always personal, but
probably. I also, just in general, just like with this one as well, like the way Darren died is so predictable. But it's just, I feel like a lot of, like, it's logical to have deaths in books, but it just feels as if Saba really thought, you know what, I'm gonna kill off as much as possible. Really felt like that at times.
I feel like
what was the point in saving Darren in the second book and the first book, just to kill him off in the fourth book?
Yeah, but we finished the series with the characters we had at the very beginning, and that's it, actually.
Yeah, well, technically speaking, he also had Darren in the beginning just before he got like taken, but
but he disappeared pretty fast. And I feel like, as in this one, he kind of disappeared in some way as well. So I feel like it was a reflection of the first book in some way, or maybe that's my weird mind seeing things.
I get what you mean. Yeah, it's just so unnecessary.
Yes, I actually felt like Darren's death was just, it happened so quick. It happened right away after Harper's death. So I just felt like it was so rushed and so like, just, okay, I need to kill characters to make it more interesting. Let's kill.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the most expected thing ever in YA books is main character with a brother, that she saves her brother and then the brother gets killed. Like, I didn't finish the Red Queen series, but so I don't know if this is the end, but Red Quit series is another popular YA series, and it's also like felt like this, a main character with a brother, and like she needs to save the brother, and then the brother will die. It's just so expected. Like, again, the same thing with Lizzie. It's okay that Lizzie died. I felt like it's expected that it needs to happen in some way, but it just didn't happen in the right way. And I felt like not only the death was really quick, I also felt like Laya, which for all the 4 books were, oh, I need to save my brother is the most important thing. I didn't felt this with his death. I just felt like she moved quick, and like it's okay because we are in the end, but just all of it didn't felt natural.
No, it was like, oh, I lost my brother, but by the way, I still have Elias, so we're good.
Yeah,
but it's like Helen and Harper. Is there something going on with what's the name? Musa?
Yes, I didn't have it. Like I was so confused.
I have the feeling that they're like, I don't know, they kind of share in their pain. So I think it's more of a we'll be very, very close friends kind of thing than anything else, because of the fact that Musa also lost his big love, even though she hated his guts. But no, I didn't like it either. Also, the way that it was just brushed off, like Helena could have just easily just said goodbye to him, like I don't know, they could have quickly brought him back before he died, something along those lines. It's just so unnecessary.
I agree.
Yes, I feel like I didn't love that Harper died, and I wish he didn't die, and then that Helen will get some kind of happy ending. But at least if he was dying, let's make it more natural and more like in place, and more like, I don't know, like it just felt it happened so quick. Helena didn't had there was so many amazing scenes between Helena and Harper that for me were the highlights of the book. Like I remember the scene when Helena, her friend,
the bath scene was so good.
Yeah, so also before that or after that, when the friend of Helena died, and Helena was afraid that if it was Harper with her, he would die. I remember the scene, yes, when she told him, and she told him her feelings, like my heart, and then I remember that they lay in the bed or something, and then she told him that she don't know what to do, like if he would die, and then he told her like a really pretty sentence, something like, it couldn't happen because I can like imagine a world without you, or something like this. Like it was just I loved those scenes. Like those were the highlights of the book. And like again, the only thing that I actually enjoyed. So I just felt so bitter when he died. And
yes,
I felt
me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, the way they handled it, like they didn't even like make a proper like burial for him or like whatever they do, and made me very angry. I really like the pace of the book, though. I am for all 4 faster books. Yeah, that me too. I think that part of my 4-star reading like rating is definitely the audiobook, because the audiobook was absolutely brilliantly done. I think that is like it really tore my heartstrings, and I think that
it was good.
Yeah,
yes, it's
really,
my first time listening to it, and I love the narrators. I don't know how it was in the last books, but like the multiple narrators, it was really good. I really loved the whole narrators. Like without the audiobook, I just won't finish it. So yes, it was good.
It was really good. I felt like the engagement between Laya and Elias felt so rushed. I was like, you hardly spent any time together, and since he was the soul catcher, like, do you know him really? Yeah. Harper
it would have made absolutely. I don't know. Sure. I feel like we read about Harper and
come back here. No.
Let's be like.
Sorry, on the
Nina
right.
is escaping.
Oh.
She was on the run. On the run.
No.
Can you say hi?
Hello, Nina.
Hello.
No.
Oh.
I was escaping. I was nearly going. No, you can sit here. Sorry, do carry on.
No, I was saying like we read about Helen and Harper interacting with each other. We read about Elias and Laia, etc. Laia, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I forgot her name. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Laia.
But I didn't feel that connection between Elias and Laia, but I did feel the connection between Helena or Helen and Harper. So I totally agree with what Naomi is saying. Like I would have loved for the two endings to like switch, like for the two stories to switch, but not that I would have liked for Elias to die. But
I mean, Elias deserves the world. Like he honestly does. This poor guy went through the worst, and he literally gave up everything to save Laia. So I was like, you deserve a little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
Also, his mother is just horrible.
Yeah, I know.
I agree with this.
Yes.
Yeah, bathroom scene was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
I feel like we can all agree that Harper and Helena were amazing together. This is definitely something that we can agree on.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I had like an issue with, but that's maybe because I read it like so fast or whatever.
Sasha, you sound like a robot, like for me. Like
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You are broken a little bit.
That's probably my connection.
Like, I think it's a bit better now.
Can you hear me better now?
I think it's better. Yeah.
That's because my computer is actually not charging. I don't know how come it's not charging. It's
maybe
charging.
Maybe if he isn't charging, so he uses more power.
Yeah, but now it's charging, so it should be okay. But it was the name. Like you have Musa, you have Mira, you have like Karis, you have like Talis, you have Karina. Can you just give complete different name, please?
I felt like so many characters were just like the same for me. Like it happened also in the first book, all of their friends, like most of them just felt the same. Also in the last book, so many characters just felt the same, not special in any way. I don't know, like it was really hard to difference between the characters. I felt it for all the series.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wanted, like, for me is at least have the first letter different, even if it sounds kind of similar. But here, Karina, Karis, Musa, Mira, I was like, who's who?
Yeah, similar names.
But yeah, that's my little complaint. But something I actually like, because we keep talking about what we don't like, is like the 3 last chapters. When it came, it was like the soul catcher, and then it was Elias, and it was like the trike, the blood trike, whatever, and then it was like Helena. I love that the name of the chapter was just them again. And I know it's a detail, but that's why I felt like it was back to humanity, back to who they really were at the very beginning of the series. They were used. They were not like master of their own like destiny or whatever, but at the end they were themselves, and that's what I loved about just the name of the chapters.
Yes, it was fun to see it. Oh, she's licking you.
She does this all the time. She's such a watcher.
So cute.
Also, like, yep. Yeah, you go back.
Yes. It just felt like, also like with Darian, it was for me so expected from the start of the series that she's going to save him and then he's going to die eventually. It just felt to me like in the end, she was like, okay, so I want Darian to die, I want Harper to die, I want Karis to die. Let's just make everyone die. Just felt like
Yeah.
it felt to me a little bit, yes.
Also, something that I would have liked to see more of, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that like a couple of live shows ago, is sort of the backstory of the entire world, because you have these tribes, you have the Scullers, you have the Marshals. I would have liked a lot more of the lore and the myth that we sort of got during certain parts of the Nightbringer, because I think how the world was made, like it maybe sounds like a weird comparison, but when I read City of Brass, like the entire trilogy goes into sort of the different people and the different tribes and the different ways in which like the world was built was so intricate and like well done that I would have liked to have a lot more of that in this book. I would have liked to see a lot more of, say, the tribe that Elias grew up in, and not just like, oh, he has like a stepbrother and like a stepsister and like a stepmother or whatever. I would have liked a lot more of, that backstory.
It was lacking that, honestly, and we said exactly the same about the Jinn, etc., etc., and all the magic system. We really like. I'm sure I don't understand the world 100%. I don't know everything. I missed so many things or whatever, but it was lacking that, honestly. And I love when there is an entire new world, something that's completely different from ours. I love to at least understand, maybe not everything because that's impossible, but at least a good amount of it. And that wasn't the case. But yeah.
Yes, also, like I totally agree. I feel like we had so many questions, and like most of them were just answered in a really unsatisfying way. Like I just feel that yes, maybe that's why the fourth book was enjoyable, because there wasn't as much as world building as we wanted, but we learned more about the world and about the academy and everything there. So maybe it made it more enjoyable, because I do feel like the world itself was really, really cool and really unique. And I wish there was more world building, but like we are already in the last book. Also, if there was world building in the last book, I don't feel like we should have waited for the last book for it.
Yeah, I agree. Also, this was I saw an interesting. What were your feelings like when you all of a sudden read from Karis's perspective?
Oh, honestly, what now?
Honestly, I was literally like, do I even care at this point? With her, like I just want her dead. Like I don't, like I didn't really like the entire thing. I think it was supposed to sort of spark like a feeling of like sorry for her or something, like empathy. I felt nothing. I was like relieved she was finally dead. And I think that Laya, she should have killed her a long time ago when she had the chance.
So for me, Caris, like I love villain characters usually, and I didn't love Caris because I just felt like she wasn't as real as other villain characters that I read about. She just didn't felt, I don't know, genuine. But I read, like, after I'm finishing reading a book, I always read Goodreads reviews to think more about the book and to understand what I'm thinking. And I saw that someone wrote that about Caris, that the someone that I read, I think she was a girl, she wrote that she loved the idea, but she felt that when finally we hear Carrie's point of view and what happened, it felt just so rushed. And I really, really agree with it, because like, yes, also if I didn't like her character until she finally got POV, I just felt like he didn't got anything from the POV, and like it was really rushed and didn't explain anything. Like it was okay, so let's answer about some questions, but let's do it really quick because I don't want to write about her. I don't know, like I would prefer not to see any POV from Caris than to see such rushed POV. I just yes, I would prefer to see more about it.
I think I would have preferred to see more of Carrie's point of view, actually. But I don't know.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I feel like because the whole series, she was supposed to be a villain, but as we said now, and as we said before, she was just a bad bitch. Like she was not a villain, and maybe if we had like read more from her point of view, we would have seen something that we missed or that we're missing now. I don't know. But she was just like, I
felt like Caris was the side characters of the villains in the story.
Yeah.
Like the Nightbringer and the other boy that I loved, like the husband of Livia. I can't remember names, I'm really bad with it. No, like the villain, like the one who killed his... Marcus, yes. So Marcus and the Nightbringer, the two of those were, for me, the villains of the story. And like Caris just felt to me like a villain side character. So like she was supposed to be a big part because she's the mother of the main character, but she just felt to me like the side character, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a good way of saying it.
Nah, I'm not sure. Like, also, I'm guessing this tail is indeed, in case maybe you've grown a tail since I last saw you, but
no.
What is one thing apart from Helen and Harper that you did enjoy about the book? I am downing my rating, by the way, because I'm realizing that it's not quite up to like my 4-star standard.
Always after a live show, you want to lower the rating. I just feel like it's always like this.
About the last book, what we liked, right?
Yeah.
I would say the pacing and the short chapters.
It sounds like someone who just wants the book to be over, honestly.
No, but I mean, it's easier to read a book, and especially audiobooks, when the chapters are shorter.
Yes.
Because you don't just start to wonder while listening to the same voice for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, you know what I mean? So that's something that I really enjoyed in books, and that might be funny because I should say something else or a specific scene or whatever, but I really enjoy that, and I feel like it's huge in a book. Like if you don't enjoy the length of the chapters or the voices or the narrators and the style and whatever, then even if the book is good, you're not going to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yes. So for me, it actually was nothing. Like, I'm that serious. The only thing that I loved was Harper and Elena relationship. And like, I really loved their relationship. But like, in the end, it was just like 1% from the book. I feel like there was some scenes, but there were like really little scenes. And the rest I just didn't, I don't know, like something about the plot just felt already boring to me. Like I didn't love the politics anymore. Just something about the whole story just felt like there isn't an end to it. I don't know. I just really didn't love it. And also, Laia, I didn't love her character. I didn't love her POVs. I feel like every time that I read something by Laia, I just was annoyed because I just realized how much I don't love her character. People always say to her, don't do it, and then she does it, and she does some kind of mistakes. She's so like, she's not thinking, and she's doing really quick, and like, I needing the word for it in English. 1 second. Hasty. She was really hasty, and like, I just feel like, I don't know, for the last book, I realized how much I don't love her. And yes, I just like, honestly, I loved Harper and Elena, and I loved how the story with the 3 of them and the mother connected to the cook. Although I have mixed opinions about it, because I'm not sure how much I loved that the cook is still alive, but I loved how the mother wasn't Caris in the end. This is something I didn't expect, but like accept it. Like, honestly, I just didn't love anything.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that I liked like specific scenes or whatever, but I really love the fact that the characters stayed true to themselves. Like from the very beginning, when Elias became the soul catcher, we were like, no, he's too human to be the soul catcher. And I feel he stayed too human, and that's why he hated that job. And at the end, that's what he was a good soul catcher, but he was not made for that. And I feel it was the same for Laia and Helena or Helena, whatever. They were all true to themselves, and that's what I loved about it, because they were growing, so they changed a little bit, but they stayed themselves. Because Laia was a bit reckless from the very beginning, so if at the end she was just like a badass, whatever, I would be like that. Who like
Sasha,
that's
you're
Laia from the very
breaking out.
beginning.
Yeah, I can't really.
Yeah.
There was someone else who said that like maybe the fact that Elias lived was because of the fact that he stayed human, like he kept his humanity. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Well, that summarizes everything. I feel like it was really the case.
Here, this one, I think. Yeah.
I think yes. He was too human for that job.
Yeah.
Yes, that's logical. But
honestly,
like, that's logical, and I love thinking that this is the answer. I just feel bad that I have so many questions that I don't feel like there is an answer. And open endings are okay. I just feel like in a 4-book series where every book just made me question more, I just feel like I wasn't satisfied from the answers and from the end.
Yeah. Speaking of things we liked, I also did it. I did enjoy Taz, but I feel like he was one of those characters that just didn't really have any substance because of the fact that there were so many.
Yes, I also felt like she like he wasn't a part of the 4th book. I don't know, like when his character came back, I was like, okay, why? Like, he's a child and this is a war. Why would you bring him with you? Like, it isn't logical for me. I don't know, it just felt, again, not natural and not logical. Just felt, okay, we need another character to kill so readers can cry. Like, I felt a little bit like this.
But he didn't die, did he?
Yeah, right. You're right. I don't know, like I felt like there was just so many characters and so many deaths. I'm already so confused for me. You're right, he didn't die even. I'm just so confused from everything.
I do agree with this one, by the way. Other than Helen and Harper, I like to read about Elias and his two faces, the soul catcher and the real Elias, and the way he dealt with it in the end. I really liked seeing, like reading his struggle, because I think that's one of the storylines that didn't feel rushed, because he was so like, grounded in his role. And I feel like, I think Naomi said last time that she was really, really annoyed with Elias every single scene in the book. But I actually really, like, while I still felt things for, like, him and Laia, and I loved the way that she was like, well, he wouldn't give up on me, so I'm not giving up on him. I really, really enjoyed that. But I did really enjoy seeing him basically struggle with who he is and who he has to be, like the role he's been sort of pushed into, which I thought was really, really interesting. Also, I really loved his grandfather. Like the scenes that he was in, he's just an absolute badass.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
I love his character also.
Yeah. I'm glad he's alive. Like, I expected him to die like 100%, so I'm very, very surprised. Of course, you can keep the oldest alive because they're dying soon anyway. Something like that. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was Naomi. I was really annoyed with him in the beginning of the book, but halfway through, I grew to love him again, like in the first 2 books. That's fair. I always loved Elias because I feel like he, usually in young adult, like the sort of love interest or the male lead is usually such an like asshole kind of type, and he's just too good for this world.
Yeah, I agree.
He truly is too good for this world. He could have just been like, you know what? I give up on everything. Goodbye. But he doesn't. And I love him for it. I love him very much.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know who would. Go
yes,
ahead.
you started to talk.
No,
go
okay,
on.
don't worry. If you had to choose one character as your favorite character, who would that be?
Harper.
Just one.
Harper. I would say Marcos, but like honestly, Harper. I don't know, like every time that he spoke, my heart just like was, oh my god, Harper. Like I really love this character already from the second book. He was introduced in the second book. I remember that Esmay weren't in the second live show, but I think that Naomi said something about Helen and Harper, and I already just got so excited, and I was, yes. And Sasha was, what? Helen and Harper? What? What are you talking about? Like, they have something together? So, yes, like, I really love Harper. Like, every time that he spoke, like, everything just, he was the most enjoyable part of the book.
I think my favorite be Elias.
Yeah.
Because he got what he deserved. Like, he fought for everything, every step of the way. He protected Helena where he could. He protected Laia and her brother where he could. Like, he did his duties, and he deserves a happy ending. Even though Helena deserved more, I still feel like Elias did deserve the ending he got. So, probably Elias.
Yeah, I agree. I would go with Elias as well for the pretty much the same reasons. And also because like Helena, I didn't like her at the very beginning, while Elias I did. So he was like the more constant
factor, like a red thread.
Series. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like my problem with Elias is that in some point in the plot, I just felt like it was already just the same and a little bit boring, but I do really love his character and his personality. Like, I definitely agree with you. He's such like a sweet soul, and from the first book, he was like so caring, and yes, he was like he's so sweet. I really get it, and yes, Elias deserves the best.
So we also have a vote for Helena, and there's another vote for Elias. As much as I love Harper and Helena, they are both ruthless, and they don't care about people who aren't their own. Yeah, probably true. They only cared about the people they love. That's also very true. So yeah.
Yes, I feel like if Harper was a big, like, if he got more, if he got more of a big role in the story, he will probably won't be my favorite character. But I feel like in the specific moments with him, he was like my most enjoyable character. Like, every time that he was in the scene, I got so excited. So like, honestly, it's Harper. But
something's happening that I like. Yay!
Yes. Not like, honestly, every time that he was in the scene, also if it was just only for a little bit, I just really love his character. I don't know, like something about him. Like, from the start, I really loved him.
Like how I can't help liking damaged characters who have suffered a lot to be more at peace in the end. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, this I truly agree. Elias cared about everyone and valued every life, be it martial or scholar or tribes people. He helped everyone and loved that about him. I completely agree. Also, the fact that he, as one of the only ones, seemed like he was truly sort of sorry about the people he's killed, no matter who they were.
Yeah.
So I was already pretty sure that he wouldn't be the one to kill Karis, even though he had full right to, because of how bad of a mother she was to him. But also, what did you guys think of I really didn't like the fact that Harper and Elias were brothers. It was just so unnecessary.
I feel like I don't have any opinions towards it, but like, I can get why you didn't like it. Like, I don't have any feelings for it. I can't remember, like, I think that we already understood it in the second book or in the fourth book.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
True,
yes,
but
yes, it was just a long time ago, like 2 months ago. So I'm not sure what I was thinking when when it happened. So yes, I'm just not sure.
There's another. Elias, even though he annoyed me, would have been my favorite if he only were a little more ruthless. He was too good to be real.
A little bit.
A little, yeah, a little. Also, something that I really, really enjoyed was sort of the banter and the sort of blooming friendship between Helena and Laia, because I feel like they would have been such like a power, like a force of power. I really, really. You're muted, Sasha. What were you saying? You were muted.
I was saying they would be like an amazing duo, like on top of the world, leading everyone, deciding for everything, everyone, with the two different point of views, the different backgrounds. I feel like they would be like the female duo we need.
Yes.
So
yes,
I agree with you. I did love see them being friends, but I do have a little bit of a problem of how it started. Like, I understand that in the end of the fourth book, Laia saved Elena's sister. So, like, it's logical that they will get connected because they are, like, running away. But I felt like in the last books, Helena hated Laia so much. Elena hated Laia so much. Like, she couldn't look at her because she was so jealous because of Elias, and it's totally understandable. But I just felt like she had so much hate towards Laia, and then I just felt like in the beginning of the fourth book, they just were friends, and like it was okay. So we spent time together. Now we are friends. But I would like to see a little bit the transition between enemies to friends, because again, I loved seeing them friends and like getting along with each other and fighting for each other, but I feel like I just didn't saw the transition of it.
Yeah, on that I agree with you. Like, I felt like, as we said, everything felt rushed and unnatural in this book. And even if I like the friendship, I feel like something was like missing. Like, I need more background story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I had a quick insulin break.
Sorry,
for me,
I knew it was.
Yeah,
Fanina.
Not me. Luckily, not me.
But yeah.
Going
but
back
the whole
to
book was a bit rushed.
Yes.
We didn't even get to see how they would be as brothers. We didn't get to see their relationship. So Saba just dropped it there, and they are brothers, but we didn't get many scenes with them. I did enjoy the scene where they basically, I think Harper shared what their father was like. I think that was, I know it's 8:00. Thank you, phone. Sorry. They I did like the fact they sort of shared, like he shared bits with Elias about who their father was, and like that scene where Elias basically like passes over Harper into the next life, and Harper's like, well, at least tell Helena that, you know, she should be happy. Those were interesting scenes, but I definitely agree with this one as well. Like, I kind of liked it, if only it would have made sense for the story. It was unnecessary. I love the idea, but wasn't used to its full potential. And I really think,
yes, I feel like there are so many ideas. Like, I feel that this sentence is so right for so many things in the book. Like, I definitely agree with it. And yes, like so many things just felt rushed, and like, I don't know, I have mixed opinions about it, because I did feel like the second and the fourth book were really slow and like nothing happened, but like the fourth book felt really rushed. Like, I'm not sure what to think about it, but I feel something was just so off about it, that like when we finally got to the end and to the more interesting part, like again, I didn't got any conclusion. I feel like, except Elias and Laia, that got a happy ending, I feel like the rest, I just didn't got any conclusion. And again, I would love, like, give me 50 more pages in the book. Just let me see Helena get like telling goodbye to Harper. Let me see those emotions. It just happened so fast. Like there wasn't anything between them for the whole books. And I'm sure that there is so many other characters like this. Like for me, Harper and Elena were my favorites, but so many other characters. I don't know, like Livia and like just yes.
Wait, did I made up something, or the soul catcher talked to Darren and Harper, or did I made up?
Yeah, he did, right?
Oh, okay. So it was kind of a goodbye for us.
Yeah, but like
not for the characters.
Not really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I sort of missed a goodbye between like a lot of characters, but also like I missed a sort of sense of grief after the big battle. Like so many people were dead, but nobody was like, oh, I'm actually absolutely crushed because the love of my life is dead, or like I'm absolutely crushed because I just lost my brother who I've spent years trying to protect from death. Like
yes, I feel like I like I said, a lot of times I usually love death in stories, and I feel that I love them because of the griefing, and it just felt like there weren't any griefing, and again it just made the story even less realistic to me.
Actually, that part made it realistic for me, because those characters, they never had the time to feel. They were never capable of just sitting down and like crying and feeling bad for themselves and whatever, because all they had to do is survive. So I feel like grieving will arrive, but later on when everything calms down. I mean,
yeah, I get what you are saying. I would love to see any kind of griefing. Like, yes, of course, like realistically, Elena couldn't go to Harper and like to say goodbye to him in the middle of the whole fight. But like something after this, I would love to see like some kind of griefing that felt more meaningful.
yeah, I think it would, like if there was like a first book, whatever, it would happen. But now she's Empress. She has other things she needs to manage before she can think about herself. You know what I mean? Like she's not, I mean, she's more herself now that she's not like the Blood Strike or whatever, but she's still the Empress. Like she has a duty. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's fair.
I
don't know.
You're not the only one.
The ending really, really knocked off a lot of sort of excitement from the book for me, because I really liked the first half, and then once we sort of went over the like after Livia was killed, it felt like I was sort of done with it. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed Livia. I think she was such a strong character, and everything she had to endure. Like there was so much, and then just the way that she was killed was so useless. And I was already like, I mean, of course, war is useless in general, but I don't know. I would have liked a bit. And then at that point, I was like, well, that means everyone's dead. I sort of already then saw everyone dying coming or something. I don't know.
No, makes sense. I see your point. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. As we said, rushed and unnatural for a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with this one.
Yes.
Do
we have any more like very, very sort of in-depth harsh feelings or good feelings that we need to discuss?
I don't think so. Not from me.
Yeah.
As I said, like the series was not for me, but I found it a good ending, honestly, for that series. I found it was pretty, like, I don't know, on the line. I don't know how to say that. Like it was the ending.
Like expected.
Yeah, because I said like last time, Elias, not the soul catcher, someone who died who's gonna come back. Like I even said regarding like Helena that she would be like Empress or the queen or whatever.
You predicted everything.
No, but that's usually what happens in YA series, and especially after reading 3 books, you kind of understand the way the author is going with, like, unless it's another author who just is what the heck all the time, but here it was persistent, I want to say. So I feel like it was an ending that series was expecting to have, like I expected to have. Whatever, you got me.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know. Like I just
still. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say like that I agree with most of you. That like with everyone that just felt a little bit. I feel like for me personally, I just expected so much because I didn't enjoy the second and the fourth book because the expectations were so high. It was just really disappointment, and I feel like I just wasn't really feeling the series because like if there was one book that I didn't like and then the book after it was better, it would feel better for me, but I just felt like the 2 books were not really good. So like for me, I really enjoyed 1 book and then 2 books felt average. So I just already didn't really enjoy the series. Like I didn't expect to hate it this much. Like again, I don't think it's bad. I just think that for me personally, it just got to the place that I wanted to see so much more, and I was so frustrated with the series and with what happened so far that I just didn't felt satisfied from the last book. And yes.
I wish Livia would have survived. I would rather have seen Helena die and see Harper and Elias suffer, but to see Livia live on to remember Helena.
That actually would be really pretty. Like it would be like I imagined it, and I don't like. I love Helena. I don't want her to die or to suffer, or for that she is going to suffer being an empress because it's hard. But like, yes, it will be like unexpected, and I feel like the ending that we got was really expected.
Yeah.
And then, like when you describe the ending like this, like Livia alive or whatever, I see Sansa from Game of Thrones, who is a little girl, innocent, who becomes something huge. So Livia could have been that.
Yes.
Well, she's dead now.
I mean,
like a lot of other characters.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I kind of dragged you into a series that most of us. Well, I mean, Steff.
I really wanted to enjoy it. Yes, like it's really not like. Yes, you are like the one that enjoyed the series the most and the one who read it before us, but it's not your fault. Like we continued reading. Like the second and the fourth book were okay to me. Just the last book felt really bad to me, and I didn't DNF it also because of the live show and the read along, but also because like I'm already in the last book of the series. I just felt bad DNFing it after I read half of it. What, I'm going to DNF a book in the fourth book, in the last book of the series? It just felt bad. So it's just like, for me, felt bad. I just felt like I didn't accomplish the series if I didn't finish the last book. So it isn't you like in any way. That's totally okay. Yes, like
I'm actually happy I read that series because now I know it wasn't for me or whatever, because otherwise I would have never picked it up. But I'm happy because I had fun actually, and that's why I didn't DNF the series, because I had so much fun. So
fair.
Yes, the live shows were just so fun. Also, if I didn't love the book and like while I read it, I didn't really love it. I just kept thinking about the live shows and how much fun it will be to discuss about the book. It was really fun. So like, yes, like overall, the series wasn't also for me, but the first book was really good. And like, I don't know, I feel like reading books teaches you a lot, and teaches you which books you prefer to read and which you are not. So that's like okay to read books that you are not enjoying. That like it happens. That's okay.
That's true.
The last comment in the chat.
Yes, there is more read-alongs, and like I'm sure there will be more in the future. So like,
We could even do for one book, like if there is a book everyone wants to read or
Yes,
that's
I would
already
like
hyped or
really.
underhyped, we can do it just to keep it a little bit chill to begin. Because I'm doing another read along. I'm feeling at the moment.
I feel like you're not the only one, by the way, Sasha, because I mean, from what I've heard from Femke, she only just finished the first book.
So yeah, see, so if we can do like a standalone, I would be in.
Let's do a standalone. We can do Priory of the Orange Tree in a month.
Oh, I'm in for that. I'm in for that.
I mean, I already
I'm
read
actually
Priory,
too,
so.
but okay. I'm actually like would really love to read the Priority for a live show and to discuss it. I'm just not sure when I will have time.
Yeah,
But
but we could do like.
Should we
could
make
talk about that?
Shall we-
A list of books? Okay.
Yeah. What should we do one? That would be fun. We can do one. Like a standalone book.
I have a lot of books that I
Yes.
want to read, and I have a lot of standalone books that I think would be really fun to read for a live show.
The Priory is definitely one on my list.
Yes.
What about the Once and Future Witches? Is that a standalone?
Which one? The Nature of Witches?
No, I think it's the Once and Future Witches. Wait. Yeah, The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. It's a standalone.
Okay, so
I can grab the book. I have it on my shelf.
Oh, that's the author of The 10,000 Doors, no? Of January.
What? You're sounding like a robot.
This one
again. Yes, I actually don't know anything about this book, but like I have a lot of other books. Like we can totally see what we can read. Like I'm really up to reading some standalone for a live show. It's just really, really fun. Yes, just
what about
it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We can each pick one standalone and give the people.
We can also
really
with
Steff.
Yeah. Maybe also with Steff wants to join us. We can ask her too, because like she wanted to be a part of this read along. She just didn't like the series, so we can.
In my head we were 4. So yeah.
Yes. Yes, it would be really cool.
No, I'm gonna go and look at myself.
You really sound like one of those creatures from like a video game going, and the big battle ensues.
Sorry.
You sound so funny.
That's hilarious. I think we should, Robot Sasha.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi. But we could do that. We could all pick. We could discuss with Steff as well, and then maybe in like the coming days we could put a poll up.
Yeah. Yes, I'm up for it. I would love to read some standalone.
Me too. Standalones are always good.
Yes, I just think that let's this time read an adult standalone and not a YA standalone, because I just feel like this whole read along was okay. Yes, it's a YA book. YA books are like this.
This is adult. It's adult.
Yes, I saw it. Yes, I looked on it right now. Yeah, I need to think what my choice will be, but I will think about it.
I don't think
I think you're gonna. Sorry.
What?
I just wanted to say that I don't have that many standalones on my TBR.
We'll find one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Or we could just read a retelling of something that would also like a Twisted Tale. That would also be fun.
I love retellings. I would read anything. Yeah, like honestly, if it's a standalone, it's okay. Like just a standalone.
Yeah.
In any case, we shall do this.
Yeah.
we already have one of us who will join us. Yay!
Yes, amazing.
All right, let's do what is it? Tolstoy, War and Peace. Or is that too intimidating? No, because like Naomi said, I'm definitely in. Well, let's do War and Peace.
Those are those type of books that I would never read.
Same.
No way that I would
way.
ever read it. Like, I have so many books that I want to read that you just need to say to some books that you don't want to read them, and then you have some books that you really don't want to read. So,
yes. In any case, we shall talk about this, and we will put up a poll somewhere in the next. Also discuss with Steff, and then we will figure something out.
Oh,
just for you.
Like when?
Soon.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
No.
What? You would prefer to read Tolstoy over Samantha Shannon? Okay. Honestly, It by Stephen King is one of those books I will never read.
Honestly, it's amazing. I want to reread it.
Oh, I'm really not sure if I want to read it or not, because like I saw the 2 movies and I really loved them, and it was a long time ago, and I never loved horror movies, so it's like really different. So I feel like, yes, I don't know, like, House of Salt and Sorrow, but it's a YA.
It's a YA retelling.
Yeah. It's a dark fantasy, which I'm starting to love dark fantasy so much. Like, I love it also so much. So,
what if we do a murder mystery?
That could be cool too. I'm reading every genre. Like, honestly, the only genre that I didn't read. Like, honestly, the only genre that I didn't read, it's middle grade, and I read the middle grade this month, so I would be okay with reading even the middle grade. Like, I'm just okay with reading everything. I love it, every genre.
Oh, we could by the way, you were reading Nevermore, right?
Yeah, I loved it. And? I gave it 4 stars, and it was amazing. I already bought the second book. I loved it so much. It was so different from what I usually read, but it was so cute. And like, I'm not sure if I would love other middle grade books, because it's not something that I usually look for, but it was just so fun and such a fun feeling. And I really, it was also with a good plot. Like, I really loved the plot. The plot was really moving fast, and the characters were, I really, really loved it. Like, I didn't expect to love it, but I loved it.
Yeah. And talking also about House of
Salt and Sorrow, you go first.
Yeah, I read that book, and I was quite disappointed by it. I gave it 3 stars because I felt like the plot was strong at the very beginning, and then the end completely lost me, and it got weaker and less dark and a bit too repetitive for me.
Okay, interesting. Yes, I'm actually looking for dark fantasy recommendations. Like, I already bought House of Salt and Sorrow, so it's on my TBR. But yes, like, I read this month a 5-star, like a dark fantasy, and I almost never read 5 stars, so it was amazing. It's called The Wicked Deep. I will show you.
One of my favorites!
I already bought the second book. I love this book so much. Like, I don't feel like I ever read such an amazing book. You read Winterwood?
Yeah, everything that author is gonna come with.
So like, she's going to release an adult debut dark fantasy in December. We can maybe buddy read it. I already pre-order it. I really love her.
I haven't seen Sasha. Sasha's. I think Sasha's dying here.
I really get it.
Yeah, but
like, The Wicked Deep is the best book that I read in 2021. It was amazing. I didn't stop crying. Like, I cried throughout the whole book. I just sobbed. I was just so in the world. Like, it was 5 stars from the first line. Like, it was so amazing. I can't wait to read Winterwood. I can't wait to read a new debut adult fantasy. Yes, Sasha, I really get you. Like, it's so amazing. Yes, it's an amazing book. It's amazing, amazing, amazing.
Speaking of dark fantasy, I think you would then also really enjoy The Bone Witch.
The Bone
by
Witch.
Richard
It's actually like, I don't have a physical copy, but it's on my Goodreads TBR, I think. It's like something that I hear so many people talk about. So I really want to give it a try one day. Yes.
Also this one. First a poll for genre, second for a book in that genre.
If we do that, fantasy is gonna win. Fantasy is gonna win.
I'm okay with
always
it.
Win.
I'm really okay. We can also like categorize more, like instead of just fantasy, we can write urban fantasy, high fantasy, dark fantasy. I don't know, maybe make it more fun.
Or we can basically just go like, we'll make it a standalone book club of the month. That way we can all have all of our picks. I'm onto something.
We can open a standalone book club.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
That'd be really that way I can actually go through my standalones. That'd be fun.
Yes.
In that case, I'm putting Descendant of the Crane on this list because I really want to get
which book?
Descendant of the Crane.
Okay.
I'm like knee deep in like everything that's like Japanese, Chinese culture because it's so interesting. Like I'm actually reading a middle grade that is set in medieval China right now called The Crystal Ribbon. It's absolutely amazing. I'm listening to that audiobook and it's like it's so harsh. And like this 11-year-old girl gets married off to a 3-year-old toddler. It's absolute madness, but it's like it's told in such an interesting way, and it's a middle grade, so it's not that sort of, I don't know. It's heavy, but not like adult heavy, if you know what I mean. It's such like I'm so knee deep into anything like Chinese, Japanese inspired. I
really love all the Asian culture. I bought six Crimson Cranes, so I hope I will like it.
I'm currently reading it.
What are you thinking about it? I saw that you talked about it in your vlog.
It's so like rushed but slow. So far,
let's see what I will think about it.
Because I'm like 200 pages in, and like the first 100, I was like, I'm loving every second. And then the second 100, I was like, this feels more like a 2-star read to me. It was like 9-day. So I still have to continue reading it, but I'm stalling. I have since read 3 other books.
So maybe it's a good sign that you don't like it, because maybe I will love it. I don't know.
But it's like I don't get it, because I love everything that Elizabeth Lim has written. Everything I've read from her was 5-star for me. So it might still make a complete like 180 and like.
Yes, it's the hardest thing to read a book from an author that you really love and then be really disappointed from it. It's really sad. Yes.
I gave Renee Audier book 2 stars. And Renee Audier read The Wrath in the Dawn, like wrote The Wrath in the Dawn. It pained me to press that 2-star button. It was so painful to me.
Yes, I really get it. It's really hard and really, but maybe because we have such high expectations, we get more like, I don't know.
In any case, we shall talk about what we will do.
Yes.
Going forward. Also,
I'm just really excited to read the standalone if you all want. Yes, it was really great.
It was really fun to talk about it with you guys, even though your opinions are wrong and talk to the wall. But no.
I knew it was coming.
I still love you though, so at least you know who is saying this to you. No, I'm kidding. We all have our own. Like, of course, we all have our own reading taste and like reading experiences and opinions. And I feel like, on large part, we do agree on like the main things. It's just the enjoyable, like the feeling for all of us. Like, we have different sort of moods and like different like favorite like comfort genres and like comfort things. Like, I'm very character driven, whereas Jane is very plot driven. So. I mean, it's only logical that we have different feelings, but that makes this interesting to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I'm in for whatever you girls decide. I'm up for it. I need some guidance because my reading is all over the place. Same.
Mine too.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm a mood reader. It will always be all over the place.
Yeah, because of my mood, I did not read my TBR. I mean, the books I was supposed to read in August, and I read an
Like Sky
entire
Beyond the
other
Storm,
series.
which you read only yesterday.
I completely forgot. Like
It happens, yes. Actually, was really nervous to forget because I read it in an ebook, and it's like the only book out of the series that I didn't have physically with me. So I was really afraid that because I don't see it physically on my bookshelf, that I will forget about it.
Yeah, but that's because like here in my office in Belgium, like I have all the books I have read here stacked here, and then all the books I need to read, and all the ebooks, so audiobooks are like on stickers, put on the table there, so I can see them.
Cool.
But as I was 1.5 months away, my books were everywhere in my suitcase, in my car, in the room or whatever. So I didn't have my stack of books as usual here, so I didn't see them, so I forgot.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah,
we can be all over the place together.
Yes, actually, it's like really depends on the person, because for me, like personal life, I'm really organized. I can't be all over the place. But with reading, I can't decide until I'm finishing reading something and then I'm trying to read something else. So like there is just people that have to have a TBR and people that have to be mood readers. Like everything is okay.
Yeah.
Also, how was your car ride, Sasha?
So I filmed the whole process because I was actually listening to an audiobook. That's going to be a themed vlog just for my 18 hours drive to get back here. And it was a nightmare because there was a car crash in Germany, and they closed the highway completely. So I had to leave, and I got lost. And I found the next, because the crash was so important, so bad, they closed like 6 entrances to the highway. So I got lost for 3 hours, like 3 hours. It took me to find the next entrance. And
so
I had only 10 or 20 kilometers left in my car. So I was in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to just sleep in my car, call Toyota to ask them to try to find me because my car is empty.
It sounds so really stressful. Wow.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm in Belgium now, but I mean, it was like, when you're alone, like last time I had Mooney with me, so I had at least some company, but here I was alone and getting lost for 3 hours. Especially because like I turned on my 2 navigators, like on my phone and in my car, and they kept telling me to make a U-turn to go back to where it was closed. And I was like, no, I know I have to go this way. But after 3 hours, I was like,
that sounds horrible. I'm so happy that you are in home right now and that everything is okay. Wow.
Yeah, after 3 hours, I found like a gas station or whatever. I took care of my car. Then I went to the guy and I was like, please tell me the way.
Help me.
So I was almost crying, like not because I was scared, but of nerves. Like when you're so nervous and you just like sick of it. Huh. So yeah, but even ways, nothing worked. So that's my luck. And I'm an unlucky person and that's what happened. But yeah, I'm good now. I'm with Mooney.
Yes, at least everything is good.
Luckily, you're home.
Yeah.
That said, I think we will probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so bittersweet. Yeah. First and foremost, thank you all so much for reading along with us, especially if you got to the 4th book, because not all of us made it. Sorry, Steff, I love you. It's worth mentioning. And we will, I think, probably via the Ember in the Echelon Twitter, let you know what we'll be doing. And expect something, I would say, by the end of next week. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that okay to say? I think that's okay to say.
Yeah, I think it's safe. Yeah.
Safe to say. Okay.
Yes.
Also, thank you so much to my fellow hosts. It's been such a pleasure doing this with you guys, and it's so much fun discussing books with you because I love you so much.
Yes, me too.
Same.
It was just so fun. Like, also, if we are not agreeing on opinions, it makes it even more fun because we have more things to discuss about. Like, it was the most fun thing in the read along, the live shows. It was really, really fun. Yeah.
Also, the reading sprints are so helpful. Because I'm so bad at keeping up with my reading, and they really help. So
That's cool.
I want to have more on my channel, so I'm gonna do my best to do that because I need help. But I'm glad we're gonna continue with something because I didn't want that to end. So I'm happy we're gonna continue to read together.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's also been such a joy meeting you. Thank you for our very chaotic conversation, because I actually texted Naomi after I finished the book, which was very chaotic.
I'm just imagining your conversation.
Basically, just shouty capitals and us agreeing on a lot of things. So yes, thank you so much, and we will see you when we will see you.
Thank you so much, everyone.